Hi, my name is Line Gram Frøkjær, and I will be walking you through our LoRa 101 session. So let me first of all share my screen to make this a bit more clear for you. Today, I will be walking you through, first of all, what is LoRa 1. I'll be touching upon gateways, what is a gateway and when are they needed, and how do you choose one. And finally, I'm going to talk about the whole communication system between our sensors and gateways. So what is LoRa 1? LoRa 1 is a long-range, wide area network radio technology. That's a long word. But basically, it's a technology for communication. It's widely used for IoT applications, Internet of Things, because it enables coverage in rural areas and it has a very low power consumption. However, LoRa is just one of many technologies, but let me try and draw it out a bit clearly. You have a sensor in the field that takes a measurement. That data package you want ultimately to reach your phone or your computer, but for that, the sensor needs to be able to communicate. Which technology you should use for this communication depends partly on how much data you want to send, how large is your package, how much power can you consume, and in which areas do you plan to deploy your sensors. So where LoRa, as I explained, has a very low power consumption, it also enables communication in rural areas, which I'm going to touch upon later. Where, for example, another technology is narrowband IoT. That's a cellular communication system that is not very suitable for rural areas. LoRa has a range in optimal conditions up to 15 kilometers in rural areas. So that explains also a bit of the reasons why Sensorterra uses LoRa 1. First of all, the extremely low power consumptions. This means we can offer a long lifetime of our products that lasts for multiple years. Second of all, being able to communicate in rural areas is quite crucial for many of our farmers and growers. And finally, LoRa 1 is a large-scale global platform that's growing rapidly. Using standardized protocols and already having billions of devices connected globally. It's the world's fastest growing IoT platform. So I'm going to talk a bit now about what is a gateway. Because a gateway is basically the ears that are listening to your devices in the field. In some places, in some countries, some areas, providers have already set up gateways to offer a whole LoRa network. In other places where there's still no coverage yet, you have the ability to set up your own private network. I will get back to that. So this is an example of a gateway. They come in many shapes and sizes. Some come with solar panels, but basically most of them look like your Wi-Fi router at home. So the whole way they communicate with the sensor, here we have a couple of sensors in a field, and we have a gateway. Between the sensors and the gateways, the devices communicate with the LoRa technology. And the gateway is standing there to listen for signals from the sensors. So this is a gateway. The gateway will communicate to the cloud, will send the data packages through Wi-Fi, through Ethernet or cellular connection. And from the cloud, the data is passed on to reach your phone, your computer, or your own dashboard. So you can see what's going on in the field. And to explain it a bit further, if we start from the left here, we have sensors installed in the field communicating on the LoRa network. Then here we have the gateway, whether it's set up by yourself or by a national carrier, and this sends the data to the cloud. In the cloud, the data is received by the network server that sends it to the Sensotera service for calibration. And we offer an API for private network servers. The calibrated data will then either be sent through to the Sensotera platform or to your own preferred solution through an API. So how do you decide whether you need a gateway or not? First of all, you should check with your local telecoms if there is LoRa coverage in the desired area where you want to deploy your sensors. It's very country specific where to check for this. A good link is to go to the LoRa Alliance website. I have a link here that can provide you some info on what companies are operating in your area, in your country. There's also the Things Network that I have a link to here. And you can check your local GSM providers. If you do find that there's coverage in your area, then you don't need your own gateway. You can just check with Sensotera if there's already a proper integration between the provider and Sensotera. And if there isn't, we'll be happy to explore the opportunity. If there is no coverage in your area, then you will need a gateway. You can check our recommended partners on the website, and there will be examples on the following slides. So this is an image I took from the LoRa Alliance website that gives an idea of which countries have LoRa providers. Note that this map is not necessarily showing full country coverage, but it indicates that there are providers in the country, so there's opportunities to explore. Another example here in the Netherlands is to go to KPN, which offers a nationwide network, and you can check the connection in your specific area on the website. Depending on what country you're in and which country you want to deploy your sensors, there should be similar overviews from your local providers. Just to mention some examples here, we have experience managing thousands of sensors globally, which means we also already have many partners out there, and we can provision sensors to your local LoRaWAN service provider. So you can use this list for inspiration. Some are global, some are Dutch, some are American, French. You go through it yourself. And we have some resources for further learning. You can visit our Sensotera Help Center or the frequently asked questions. We also have a troubleshooting guide and an installation guide for our sensors. Thank you for listening, and reach out if you have any questions.